Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and a quick update over at the Velyka Novosilka sector. A few days ago, we have the Russian mapping, claiming some Russian advances around Velyka Novosilka, particularly over in the west of Vremivka and Nekushny, as well as in the south of Velyka Novosilka in the north of Blahodane. So they claim that the Russian forces have basically closed down and tightened the noose around Velyka Novosilka. Tentatively, we still do not have a confirmation about this mapping change from the Ukrainian side or any geolocation to corroborate the information. But what we do have, however, is the Ukrainian mapping confirming, this by Deep State UA, confirming that the Russians have advanced actually in the northeast of Velyka Novosilka, capturing quite a bit of grounds over in the northeast. So this is still a tightening of the noose, and if the Russian mapping is correct and the Ukrainian mapping also adds on to this, definitely we are seeing that the Ukrainians are getting squeezed pretty badly along this area. There's only one major crossing over here. The north has already been cut off. The Ukrainians cannot go north. This is not doable. And the road over here has also been cut off. So these two roads has already been cut off. This one road up north, one road go west. Both have been cut by the Russian forces. So what the Ukrainians have is potentially, if they have to abandon this position, they would have to go north, in the northwesterly direction, in the direction of Buratske and Pervrine. So this, or they have to go further up north towards Koma direction. So that is the only way out for the Ukrainians. And similarly, that will also mean that reinforcement, resupply, food, water, all have to also come by this direction. This is the only way from this north to come down to resupply the Ukrainian troops at Velyka Novosilka. And it's also important to note that the bridge is damaged or destroyed or damaged since April last year. So things are getting really bad over at Velyka Novosilka. If you look at the frontline change by the Ukrainian mapping, it confirms the Russians' capture of this ribbon-shaped fortification, and the Russians also established more control over the tree line in the northeast, and which means that they are now on the verge of doing a launch and attack into the north of Velyka Novosilka. And if this attack happens, any Ukrainian forces that are actually defending in the northern area here will be cut off. So that's some concern for the Ukrainian forces to consider, and the distance between the current, let's say this tree line, all the way to the next tree line, which is under Ukrainian control, is less than 1 kilometer. To the city buildings itself is also similarly around 900 meters. So things are getting a bit precarious. In the south, according to the Russian mapping, they claim that they have taken the last tree line south of Velyka Novosilka, north of Blahodane. So this was the previous claim a few days ago. The Russians also claim that they have taken the crossing in the south of Nekushny, as well as all the tree lines in the west of Vremivka and Nekushny. So the Russians are now putting pressure, and the next move, maybe is already happening, is the Russians attacking directly into Vremivka. They can ignore Nekushny because Nekushny is already operationally encircled. If the Russians simply attack into Vremivka. And if the attack goes into Vremivka and the fighting is now in this area here in the western part of Vremivka, then the Ukrainians will have to make these considerations should they withdraw. Because once the fighting reach this crossing, and the other crossing, there's two crossings around here, so there's another crossing here. But if the fighting reach around these crossings, then the Ukrainians will not be able to withdraw from Velyka Novosilka. Then we would have an operational encirclement, if not an actual encirclement of Ukrainian forces at Velyka Novosilka. So it's also important to note Velyka Novosilka has never fallen to the Russians before. So it was never under Russian control ever. So I'm talking about this war. So this is a very important thing to note, that the loss of Velyka Novosilka will be a massive setback for the Ukrainian forces. Russians previously have control of Nekushny. They have Nekushny. They previously have contested control over Vremivka, but Velyka Novosilka has always been under Ukrainian control. So this is what at stake the capture or abandonment or encirclement of Velyka Novosilka would mean that the entire Zaporizhia offensive in the Vremivka front has entirely failed and entirely negated by the Russian forces. So that is what the in terms of meaning, in terms of this PR or psychological, spiritual, yeah, hypothetical. No, remember to click the like button, and also subscribe. Remember to subscribe, no circumstances. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and if you want to catch all the quick updates without delay, do consider becoming a YouTube member on the DPA War channel, and I'll see you guys in the next update.